Колеги, ми продовжуємо робочий день. До слова запрошується Вадим Savitsky.
We continue our working day, and now I give the floor to Vadim Skybytskyi, Ministry of Defense of Ukraine, Chief Intelligence Department. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and now the briefing. The topic is current situation and tendencies on the temporarily occupied areas of Donetsk and Luhansk area. So the main peculiarities of the situation on the temporarily occupied territories. So there are some attempts to create a tense situation in these regions by Russian occupation forces. Also, there is rotation of units of 1st and 2nd Army Corps, and they are in constant battle readiness. And also, the plans of Putin are implemented to deteriorate the situation in Donbas. Also, there is active reconnaissance activities with the use of air drones. Also, there is an accumulation of weapons, military equipment, fuel, lubricants, and other means that are brought from Russian Federation. And also, there is rotation of armed forces of Russia that are in the occupied territories of Ukraine. This rotation is planned till 15th of May this year. And during this week, the intensity of fire delivered by the enemy at Ukrainian positions significantly decreased, and that is connected with the Easter holiday and introduction of ceasefire. There were 108 shellings. The enemy used small arms, mortars, and also grenade launchers. Mortars were of 82 and 120 millimeter of caliber. The highest intensity was in Donetsk area. There were 55 shellings. And during last week, the intelligence institutions of Ukraine revealed 37 facts of violation of Minsk agreements concerning withdrawal of weapons and equipment. And in 15-kilometer zone, these were 16 facts. There were 65 tanks revealed also. The biggest number of these tanks were near Debaltseva, Dokuchevsk, Donetsk, Lyubivka, Makivka, Permysk, and Yasunuvata. In 25-kilometer zone, there were 14 facts. They revealed 58 artillery systems and self-propelled artillery systems. And also in 35-kilometer zone, they revealed 20 units of grads, and these were in Debaltseve, Ilovaisk, Permysk, Petrivska, Stakhanov, and Hrushuvata. This information was provided to OSCE mission. Russian occupation commanders, they give priority to reconnaissance activities as to ATO positions, and for this they use air drones and also subversive groups. During the week, there were 10 flights of air drones of the enemy, and 6 of them of operative and technical level, Orlan 10 and Forpost, they took off and landed in the territory of Russian Federation. And Chief Intelligence Department of MOD confirms this information that the use of air drones by 1st and 2nd Army Corps, it is carried out by order of Center of Territorial Forces of Russian Federation. And as a rule of the orders are coming from the center, and video materials with the results of the reconnaissance activity of air drone, they are immediately sent for processing to the territory of Russian Federation. Also, there are attempts of subversive groups of 1st and 2nd Army Corps. They want to get to the rear of ATO forces. So these facts were in the regions of such settlements of Avdiivka, Trihizbenka, Novogrigorievka, Vodyane, Nevelske, Krasnogorovka, Marienka, Novomykhailovka, and others. Subversive groups use actively air drones and quadricopters to drop some explosive devices and also anti-personnel mines in the rear of ATO forces. Russian Federation continue to supply equipment and also militants to the territories that are controlled by the militants. During this week, by railroad and roads, the militants got 38 tanks, 14 APCs, 12 artillery systems, 1,750 tons of fuels, and 560 tons of
Статистичних даних.
The statistics shows that the fuel storage is being increased, in particular in Donetsk and Luhansk region. In particular, the fuels are supplied to the storages of the 1st and 2nd Armed Corps, located in Donetsk, Ilovaisk, Krasnodon, Makiev, Korovynki, Snizhne, Torez, Hrtsysk. It is related to the fact that during the April, the military exercise and preparations were conducted. Also, winter exercise were conducted. Moreover, the fuels storage were increased to meet the norms. Also, to Donetsk and Luhansk regions, Russia supplied more than 8,200 tons of fuels, which is 52% of total amounts of fuels supplied to Luhansk and Ukraine. And it should also be mentioned that Russia supplied enough armaments and military equipment to found the large military unit. In April, they supplied both new armaments and the renewed, which was previously taken from Ukraine back to Russia. In particular, they supplied 62 tanks, 140 APC and MPC, and 20 units of artillery systems, which is enough to establish the motor rifle military unit. Altogether, more than 52 fueling systems were supplied to Ukraine from the beginning of this year, and it is enough to provide, the Russian command is doing that to provide the autonomy of their tank and armaments units, artillery units. And also the intelligence of Ministry of Defense of Ukraine found out that there are numerous military exercises of the 1st and 2nd Armed Corps of the Russian occupation army. And currently they are using this time to exercise, to renew the combat support and to collect intelligence. They are working to fix the problems which were identified during the final checks in winter, and in particular on the 5th of May, the representatives of the center of the territorial command of the southern military region of Russia came to Ukraine on the 5th of May, and the personal information of those commanders who came to Ukraine were identified. They are the commander of the southern military region, General Serdyukov, and also the head of the staff, the General Teplinsky Mikhail Yuryevich. The other personal identities were also found out. In particular, Deputy Commander of the Center of the Territorial Army, General Volik, the deputy head, Colonel Khudyakov, deputy head Manukyan, and also the deputy Colonel Kanchura Oleg, and also the deputy of the head of the staff of the center of the territory, Colonel Zemskov, and that is the main information so far. If you have questions, so you're welcome. Dolinsky 1+1. Do you have any information about potential provocations on the 9th of May? Are you ready for that? Yes, we are ready for the provocations. It is possible, and the evidence of that is the high level of readiness of the sabotage groups. Do you have any more questions? Semen Levchenko, the Chas Ruhu newspaper. I have 2 questions. It was mentioned that there is a colonel responsible for the personnel. You mentioned Zemskov. Why didn't you show the picture of this person? Don't you know how he looks? But the main question is, do you just collect intelligence, or do you look after using the collected intelligence during the combat? Are there any unit to do that? And I'm sure that there is such a unit. There should be such a unit. First of all, the pictures of the officers are in fact the top command of the center of the territorial troops of the southern military region of Russia. As to collecting intelligence, so it is very thorough work. As soon as we have the picture of that officer, we will show you. And all the information which we provide to media or to international organizations are supported by the hard evidence, by hard proof, and we thus have the evidence and proofs of the Russian aggressions. As to providing necessary intelligence to our combatants, so we are doing that. We have appropriate units which both collect intelligence and give it to our military men. Do you supervise, do you control the usage of the intelligence? So we provide the intelligence, and everything, all the information we have, we provide to the higher command and to the state. And we have the military command who are responsible for usage of this intelligence. Do you have any more questions? If no, that's it for today. Thank you very much. The day is